Good morning. It is May 6th, about 5:30 in the morning, and I haven't done a video journal in a couple days. I think I checked in Sunday. Sunday and Monday were great. Monday night to Tuesday night, today's Wednesday. Monday night to Tuesday night, I didn't sleep. I think I fell asleep around 8:30, something like that, and then I woke up at 12, and I didn't really sleep after that. So Tuesday when I worked, I work a 12 to 6:30 shift at the storehouse, and so I had all morning. Usually I get a lot done in the morning, but without having slept but a few hours the night before, I knew I needed to lay low, try to sleep, which I'm not a good sleeper, obviously, and I don't nap unless I'm really sick. But anyway, so, yeah, and that brought on headaches, and it's just been a whole thing. So today's Wednesday, so from Tuesday night to this morning, even just having one night of bad sleep totally throws me off. Man, I felt like I was in a dream world. The headache was bad. But what I didn't do was drown myself in caffeine and pills, which is what I have to do sometimes. But I decided not to do that. So what I did is ginger is really good for headaches. Dr. Greger shows some studies where ingesting ginger and, in its purest form, if you can, obviously not gnawing on the root. I don't know if even I could do that, and I am obsessed with ginger. But anyways, ingesting ginger was more effective than some of the migraine medications. So, but I have a pretty high tolerance for ginger. I should, maybe not tolerance, but I juice like big things of ginger. I drink ginger lemon that I make. I do a lot of ginger, so I love it. Anyways, I did a ginger tea, and I put extra ginger powder in it. And then I had, so I'll share my recipe. It's not really a recipe, I just make it, but I juice ginger and lemon in my juicer, and I pour it in ice cube trays, freeze it, and then I take, usually since it's kind of small cubes, I take 2 cubes out and let them thaw, add a little bit of water, and sometimes I drink it just like that, but sometimes since it's lemon, it's a little sour. I add a little bit of maple syrup to it, cayenne pepper, and then I sprinkle in cayenne pepper and shake that up. It's heaven. Anyways, so I ingested some ginger, and that helped some. I still had the headache. But yeah, so anyways, I was kind of a mess. So last night, fell asleep again around 8:30. Woke up at 12:30. So here's what I've been doing for my sleepless nights is I used to just put on my audiobook. I don't get on any electronics or anything like that. And if I wrote down everything I did on paper, I should have perfect sleep. I go to bed the same time, I get up the same time. I don't eat after dinner, which dinner for us is 5 o'clock, so I don't eat after 5:30. What else? I don't have caffeine after like 10 in the morning, and I also started to cut back the amount of caffeine I have in the morning, just in case maybe that's a factor. So no caffeine after 10 a.m. What else? I don't do electronics after dinner. So if I either listen to a book or I read from an actual book. I don't watch TV after dinner. I mean, there really is nothing on paper that I do that would suggest that I shouldn't get a full night's sleep. So it's kind of frustrating. Like, my room is dark, it's quiet, I'm relaxed. So anyways, but the past couple nights I didn't listen to my book, because there are times that it relaxes me and I fall back asleep, and then there are other times I get interested in the story and I stay awake and I realize that that is what's happening, so I turn it off. But I do a lot of sleep meditation, and that puts me, it's kind of weird, but people that, if you meditate, you know what I'm talking about, but I can feel myself drop into different levels. I want to say levels of consciousness, and I don't mean like woo woo, like heading out into space. I just mean like I'm getting closer to sleep, and I just feel this little deeper and deeper drop. So I know that I'm getting good rest and deep relaxation when I'm doing that meditation, even if I don't fully like lose consciousness and sleep. But still, I know it's helpful, but I'm not sure if it replaces sleep. So anyways, I did that last night again. Sorry, this is a little rambling, but also in the books by Gregor and, you know, other people that I listen to on podcasts and stuff, sleep specialists say to not stay in bed for, if you're laying in bed trying to fall asleep, don't do that for more than 20-30 minutes. They say to get up, get out of bed, and then try again later when you're tired. But here's the part of the information that I'm missing. That's fine, because there are times when I wake up and I just immediately am wide awake and could go to do anything. I mean, I'm just so completely wide awake and it's 1 a.m. So I get that it builds frustration and irritation and anxiousness if I lay here and try to fall asleep. I have to go to sleep. I have 4 hours. I have to go to sleep. So sometimes obviously that makes it worse. So I understand the concept of getting out of bed, and that sounds wonderful, and I do have to do that sometimes. Here's what I'm missing. What do I do when I get out of bed? I obviously am not going to go sit and watch TV. I'm not going to do anything with the lights on, because there I'm just reinforcing me being wide awake. I'm not going to go make something, do something, cook something. I don't know. Like, I can't get anything done on my to-do list, because that just, I would absolutely not go back to sleep. So I didn't really, do I just get up and sit in a chair in the dark? I mean, I don't know. So anyways, I decided just to do my own thing, what I feel would work for me. So last night, went to bed, I fell asleep around 8:30, woke up at 12:30, pretty much like clockwork, bing, wide awake. And I could tell with my head was still hurting, and I was like, oh, I can't do this 2 nights in a row. I just can't. So I put on my sleep meditation, and right away I could tell that I was struggling to relax. I'm like, nope, I'm getting anxious 2 nights in a row. I can't do this. So I said, okay. So I turned off my sleep meditation, and I said, I got out of bed and I sat on my meditation cushion, which is over here. So right there, whoa, that's my meditation cushion. And right now I have a stack of books there. I usually find stacks of books around here. Hi, Pooh's Corner. After Ian died, do you see Eeyore laying there all sad? My family got me an Eeyore because I was so sad, and I've collected those over the years. Love Pooh Bear. Anyways, so I sat on my meditation cushion, and my intention was, okay, I have 2 different apps I use for meditation. I'll do my, Thich Nhat Hanh has an app, called Plum Village. Well, that's his village. Anyways, they have an app, and more about that in another video. So I'm like, I'll sit and I'll do a non-sleeping meditation, because theirs are just so great. But I couldn't sit cross-legged on my cushion because my hips were so tight. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? So I rolled out my mat, which is in another section of my room, and I'm going to do some gentle stretches. I'm not going to do full-blown yoga, but I'll do like restorative yoga. And so that felt right. I just love yoga in any form, and it immediately relaxed me. Just the act of rolling out my mat and sitting down immediately centered me, because I've been doing yoga for like 20 years. So immediately centered me, and I could just feel myself settling. And so I turned on some background music, like woo, spacey music with crickets and stuff like that. And it was lovely. I only stretched, and I did my usual routine of gentle stretches to stretch out my hips, because I have like major tight hips from arthritis and stuff. So pretty much I always just do hip openers. It was lovely. And at a certain point, I could tell my body was ready to sit still and meditate. So then I came over to my cushion and I did, there's one particular practice I like, it's 12 minutes long. So I did that. And again, I could feel myself kind of dropping into a more meditative state. And I just knew I was ready to relax and do sleep meditation. So then I crawled back into bed. Meanwhile, no lights are on. I don't need any lights on. I have a tiny little night light so that I don't step on Annie when I go to the bathroom at night. Yeah, so I laid in bed. I turned on the sleep meditation, and it took me a minute to figure out which one I wanted to do, but I fell back asleep. So I would say I woke up at 12:30. I would say it really wasn't, I think the last time I turned my phone over to start the sleep meditation was 2 maybe. So, I mean, it was a while, but I slept. And I woke up at maybe, 5, just a little after 5. I feel good. I still have a bit of a headache, so I'm having some coffee. But yeah, it was, I would count that as a success. And actually now I'm not as nervous about, sleeplessness. I must say my stress has been reduced down from, I don't know, it wasn't off the charts. It wasn't bad when I was at the museum. But still, switching jobs and being on the correct path and things like that lowers the stress. And anyways, yeah, so it was, I would say that was successful. Okay, so this is going to be an issue for me. I'm 51. I've been in perimenopause probably since 40s. Very little, little signs here and there, nothing crazy. It kind of ramped up a little bit about a year or 2 ago, and with symptoms. So and I knew from my mom, I kind of knew that moodiness, emotions, my mental health, and I knew that was going to be one of my issues. And I had a feeling sleep would be, because sleep and headaches, because that just runs in my family. My, my sisters and I and my dad, headaches come from, it must be the Gilbert side of the family. And anyways, so I was like, you know what? Oh, wait, I also wanted to say, unfortunately, so really the only thing left would be to go to the doctors and get like Ambien or sleep pills or something like that. And while I'm not one to run to medication, it has its uses. It's there if you need it. I think it's a wonderful option. And if your options are, horrible symptoms that really you cannot live your life or take medication, take the medication. I mean, follow your doctor, do what your doctor says. I'm an advocate for it. If it's not like solvable by natural methods, which I typically try those first, I'm all for it. Here's my problem. Well, one, I lost my health insurance, so now I can't go to the doctors until I get the state insurance again. But two, I don't believe things on TikTok. I don't believe things on, so don't take my word for it. Please don't believe this random girl on YouTube. But, Dr. Greger, these doctors that I follow, and they have, science and test trials and studies to back it up. So again, I do my research with books, not just Google. Anyways, they don't know exactly why, but even I'm going to get this wrong, so again, please don't take my word for it. Like Ambien is an example. The studies have shown that there was some severe health problems, and I want to say it could possibly cause early death, but that sounds very dramatic. So, but it was something to that effect where even just like 2 a year or something, you know, and people, you have to take it consistently. So, I do right now in my drawer, I have over-the-counter sleep aids and melatonin, and studies have come out and melatonin increases heart issues. And I'm just like, oh my word, is there nothing? Is there no shortcuts? There's nothing I can take over the counter, give me a pill, solves my problems, and doesn't kill me. So it's very frustrating. So I knew even if I wanted to go take an Ambien, I can't right now because of health insurance. So I said, you know what, Julie, you need to figure this out. You need to figure out what works for you. And so meditation usually works for me, meditation and yoga. So I'm going to transition real quick before time runs out. I am going to do, I think I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to do a short meditation filming it and share some of my tips and different things. Like here's a box of cards. They kind of look like tarot cards. They're single cards, but they're all about mindfulness. If you don't know who Thich Nhat Hanh is, not sure if you guys can see that. I don't know if that's showing the right way or not. Thich Nhat Hanh, he is a Buddhist monk. He passed away a few years ago, but he started, I guess a monastery, a village, Plum Village, and he was a lovely human being. And so I found him several years ago and have just gotten more and more into, like I have one of his books. He wrote lots of books, Zen and the Art of Saving the Planet. He was an activist as well. So anyways, I think I'll do another video. I'll keep this short. Okay, so let's go back to food and sleep. So last Wednesday, I believe it was, I didn't sleep good from Tuesday to Wednesday. So my defenses were down. I was still learning about myself, which is crazy at this age. I was still learning how low my defenses get if I don't sleep well, which you think I would know that, but verbalizing it a lot of times makes you fully aware of things. So I woke up Tuesday morning. Well, I woke up, I don't know. Anyways, I woke up Tuesday morning from not sleeping, and I said, okay, I wrote in my journal, I was like, okay, you didn't sleep good. You're going to work at the storehouse where you have access to vegan Doritos, donuts, little cutie tofu-y ice cream bars. I mean, I had access to everything, and I knew that I could easily let myself have some, and which, again, whatever, that's fine. I knew that's not the decision that I wanted to make, so I wanted to make a different decision, and I didn't want to feel like I was fighting myself. So I just said, okay, you didn't get a lot of sleep. I wrote in my journal, you're going to be fine. When you check in later today, none of the cravings would have hit, none, and I must say that's one of the, you know, I've become much more free from my cravings, free from the obsession, which honestly I never thought in a million years would happen. And it's all because I've really changed my mindset. And I'm also doing the abstinence experiment, so that's going well. I'm telling you, just having it be like, I'm doing an experiment, or there's a project I'm doing with abstaining from things, so I can't. That was, yeah, that was amazing. Apparently I can be tricked very easily if it's science. So anyways, yeah, so, you know, it went okay. I didn't have, you know, I didn't have any of that stuff. But the biggest thing is I didn't have the craving for it, which was lovely. So, you know, being self-aware, understanding areas that are challenging to you, and, you know, little tips and tricks you can do to help yourself out so that you don't have to live the rest of your life battling yourself and your brain, because that is not sustainable. Okay, I think I'm going to end there. We're coming on 20 minutes there. Thanks, guys, for listening to me ramble. Hopefully any of that made sense. Yeah, so I'm gonna turn this off. So, and I will also post a video of me doing a meditation if you're interested in anything like that. I'll do it as a yeah, maybe I'll start a separate playlist for meditations or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyways, check it out. Okay, thanks for listening to me ramble. I'll check in with you guys later. Bye.